Good afternoon. We are truly delighted to welcome you to today's panel, Quantum Leap, Shaping Tomorrow with Quantum Technologies, celebrating World Quantum Day. 2025 has been declared the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology by the United Nations, marking 100 years since the birth of quantum mechanics and celebrating its profound impact on science, innovation, and society. So it feels especially meaningful to gather today on April 14, World Quantum Day, as we reflect on the past, present, and future of this transformative field. Before we begin, I'd like to briefly introduce our opening speaker, who is also the visionary behind today's event. Professor Dr. Özgür Müstecaplıoğlu is a distinguished physicist specializing in quantum optics and quantum technologies. He is the founder of the Quantum Enabling System Technologies Group, Quest, at Koç University, where his research focuses on high-performance photonics, thermal systems, quantum sensing, and computing using light and atomic systems. He is affiliated with TÜBİTAK's Basic Science Research Institute and is a prominent member of Turkish Academy of Science. With over 180 publications and numerous prestigious awards, including the TÜBİTAK 100th Anniversary Science Award, he is internationally recognized for his contribution to quantum science. It's a great pleasure to now invite Professor Dr. Müstecaplıoğlu to the stage for the opening remarks.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here, and thank you for joining us for this special day. So quantum is a distinct character, being global. It connects the different parts independent of distance, and today has been celebrated in many countries simultaneously. So you are part of a global event, so welcome. And this day wouldn't be possible with the greatest help from our Faculty of Science and also from our organizers, and Elif Hanım. They are all being great help to realize today. So thank you, all of you, and also to you for being here. So I would like to make a short opening speech just to set the mood. So let me start first of all by showing you some picture. Maybe especially young people may realize this is a TV series called Stranger Things. So it is the third episode, so they face a big challenge. So the fate of the universe depends on opening a door. And this door has a password encoded in the numbers of Planck's constant. So here quantum physics saved the day, if you remember the Planck constant, but Dustin only remembers only the first two digits. So asks her his girlfriend, and this clever lady remembers all the digits, yes. So, but the point is the number written on the TV series is 6.6 something, but today is actually celebrated on a different unit system. It is the Planck constant in the units of electron volt to second. So 4.14 just marks the April 14 just today. Okay? So this is the secret behind why we are celebrating it today. But the question is why, as you can see, the Planck constant is like 10 to the minus 13, minus 15 and minus 34. Yeah? So it's incredibly small number. So why it is so significant and why we are here celebrating existence of this number. So I will not give you the spoilers and answers. Today's panelists at the end of the panel, hopefully you will have an understanding and appreciation why such a tiny number affects our lives, modern technologies so much. And the Quantum World Day actually first celebrated in 2022. It was a global effort of 44 countries. Today it has been celebrated by 65 countries. In a short time span, it is recognized by many countries. So we put our university on the map, and this is the interactive map of all the events that has been celebrated today. So we are also on this map, you are also on this map. And also we have our own logo, that Istanbul Quantum City. We are part of the huge global network of quantum technologies and quantum events. So this is not the only first event. This is not the only event we shall be doing. So keep us watching. So, and then we will have even more events, hopefully throughout this year. Because this year is special. It is also is the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology. So we should also underline, it is both science and technology. So technology in quantum technologies cannot happen without the quantum science. Okay, so we can actually celebrate every day as a quantum day this year. And also, why quantum science is so significant? Because it is actually that the delay between the science and technology is very short in quantum physics. Okay, so if you have an idea in quantum physics, in a very short time span, it can become a technology. So the old foundations from 19 to 1920s, based upon quantization of radiation, photoelectric effect, or wave-particle duality, that if you have any questions on these things, you should ask. This is not a seminar. I'm not going to tell you what are they, but you can ask if you are interested and we can discuss. But all of them are now part of modern technologies. So immediately after the foundations, some formalism has been developed. And the first mathematical formalism of these foundations given by Werner Heisenberg in so-called in his magical paper, because it predicts so many magical effects. It is called magical paper. It has even uncertainty relation and also some matrix formalism of formulating fate of quantum particles. So this has been published in 1925, and that is why after 100 years, we are celebrating in 2025 the quantum year. We have even more weird effects in quantum physics, like non-locality and entanglement. These effects originally suggested actually to show how strange and unacceptable predictions of this quantum mechanics has been actually discussed as an objections to quantum interpretations. So in fact, the Einstein, Podolsky, Rosen, Schrödinger, even though they contributed a lot to the foundations of quantum physics, they didn't like the interpretation of it at all, and they tried to actually somewhat discredit the quantum physics. But their ideas even helped even to make quantum physics and technology stronger. So all of the objections are now part of quantum technology. So what are the inventions you are enjoying today? So today's talk, if you have a laser printer or if you just use your cell phones, if you are using some barcode scanner before buying your coffee, coming here. So in all these cases, you actually use quantum physics, okay? So they're all part of our everyday life. And in unfortunate situations, if you go to a doctor, again, you will maybe owe your life to quantum physics. So what is so new and exciting and why it is actually a strategic decision to announce this year is a quantum year? Because there are some new developments which challenges foundations of our modern society, our communication methods, our security methods, our computation methods are under threat of new inventions. So in 1994, something happened. Two publications from Peter Shor and also Indian American scientist Grover, they challenged foundations of modern society's communication and computation methods. And after this, governments, firms, companies started to take some precautions about possible developments against a new industrial revolution, which is known as second quantum revolution. So today also we can discuss them if you're interested. But currently these challenges depend on the existence of a machine called quantum computer. And currently quantum computers are not serious enough to make these theoretical algorithms become possible, because the best machines have like thousands of qubits and the early machines had 5 or hundreds of qubits. So there are some toys compared to even your cell phones. But if they are getting to be more stronger, then with the new second quantum revolution, the projections of markets and financial analysis shows that there will be a big game change. So the current companies, if they cannot take some defense mechanisms, they can lose their current status. Or the governments which are enjoying being world power, they can also lose their status. So this is an important fact. So today we will focus on, among the key areas, mostly computing, but I should say there is also cryptography, sensing, and other applications. But our experts today that you will listen, They are coming from mostly from computing background, and we will be focusing on computing. But on the other hand, if you have questions about sensing and communication, you are welcome to ask, and we will answer to the best of our knowledge. So enjoy the ride. Thank you for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Özgür Hocam, for kicking off the day with such an inspiring talk. Today's panel, we will explore some of the most exciting frontiers in quantum technologies, from computation to communication and sensing. We are thrilled to be joined by three outstanding panelists: Dr. Sevil Sarıkurt from TÜBİTAK Ulakbim, Assistant Professor Dr. Barış Malcıoğlu from the Middle East Technical University Department of Physics, and of course, Professor Dr. Özgür Müstecaplıoğlu from the Koç University Department of Physics. Each panelist will have up to 20 minutes to share their insights. We kindly ask you to save your questions for the Q&A session at the end of the presentation. Before I give the floor to our first speaker, I'd like to briefly introduce her. Dr. Sevil Sarıkurt is a distinguished senior researcher at TÜBİTAK Ulakbim. She leads user support for the Turkish National Science E-Infrastructure TRUBA and contributes to national and international high-performance computing initiatives. She collaborates with Barcelona Supercomputing Center and supports Turkish researchers in accessing major European HPC programs, including Euro-HPC and Mare Nostrum 5. In addition, she leads the TÜBİTAK Ulakbim Quantum Technologies Working Group and takes an active role in national quantum research efforts coordinated by the Presidency of Defense Industry. She also fosters communication and collaboration among researchers in Turkey to strengthen international partnerships in quantum technologies. Dr. Sarıkurt, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much for the nice introduction. And I would like to express my gratitude to all of the organizers, organizing committee, and to Professor Özgür Müstecaplıoğlu and also Cengiz Onbaşlı. So let me share my screen. Yes. No. Sorry for the inconvenience. So today I would like to talk about, firstly I will give a brief introduction about our national infrastructure, and then I will give information about the quantum initiatives that we will take part, and also I will talk about the opportunities, how to access quantum computers in Europe. This is our team, and at the back side, you can see our cluster room. This is our server room. We have different kind of CPU and GPU clusters in our system. So our national HPC center is operated by TÜBİTAK Ulakbim since 2003, and it is supported by Presidency of Strategy and Budget, and it's financially supported by Presidency of Strategy and Budget. We have two main core missions. One of them is to give support, cutting-edge scientific research and innovation, and also provide access our researchers to high-performance computing resources. As a national HPC center, we offer a wide range of computing infrastructure and providing user support. And also we encourage all the researchers to participate in EuroHPC access course through events and workshops. We promote the different kind of EuroHPC funding opportunities and encourage our users, also our researchers from academia and industry, to apply these calls. And also we monitor and disseminate emerging technologies, and also our team leading efforts in national artificial intelligence strategy development. Our target users are coming from mostly academia, and also we give services to public institutions and also industry. We carry out a couple of proof of concept studies in the context of international projects. What is a supercomputer and how can we benefit from these supercomputers in our research? So a supercomputer is a computing system with an extremely high level of performance compared to a general purpose computer. These systems play an important role in the field of computational science and are used for computationally intensive tasks in a variety of fields, including weather forecasting, computational chemistry, bioinformatics, drug design, computational fluid dynamics, material science, developing and testing new materials, and also astrophysical modeling. Turbo provides services to more than 7,000 researchers from academia, and we provide access more than 180 universities, research institutions, and public administrations. So what about the projects that we have involved as a national HPC center? Since its establishment, we have participated in 27 European Union projects, and we have 3 European Union formation memberships. These are the European Union formation memberships. You can see EGI, European Open Science Cloud, and also EuroHPC joint undertaking. I will mostly focus on the EuroHPC joint undertaking. So it is a funding entity established in 2018, and Turkey is participated in this initiative in 2019. The main objective of the EuroHPC JU is to widen the usage of supercomputing infrastructure, not only for academics, but also for industry. So, as I mentioned in my first slide, we have different kind of CPU and GPU clusters in our infrastructure. We have 4 different kind of NVIDIA GPUs. One of them is NVIDIA A100, and the other one is the new one is the H100. So these NVIDIA GPU cards can be used as quantum simulators. They are not the real quantum computers, but you can use them as a quantum simulator with the help of NVIDIA software development kit, named as NVIDIA cuQuantum, and also CUDA-Q software development kit. So by using these software development kits, you can code with Qiskit, Cirq, and Penny. So as an example, I put a picture of the data center from Japan. Japan has been deploying a 2,000 GPU supercomputer for quantum computing research at the University of Tokyo. The high performance scalable system will be engaged with NVIDIA CUDA-Q platform. This is an open source hybrid quantum computing platform with powerful simulation tools. What we do for quantum technologies. So as a TÜBİTAK Ulakbim, we initiate a working group to carry out roadmap studies. So since Turkey hasn't had any roadmap on quantum technologies, we initiate an effort to establish a roadmap. We conducting studies on quantum computing technologies. In our working group, there are professors and also industry representatives from different organizations. So with this working group, we also would like to leverage quantum technologies in Europe. So we would like to create awareness in this area. Since this year is the quantum science and technology, we would like to create awareness in this field. So we would like to also establish an ecosystem, maybe establishing a national quantum forum will be a good idea. The National Quantum Roadmap is categorized under 4 main topics. One is workforce, education and awareness. The other one is research and innovation. The third one is ecosystem building, and the last one is the collaborations. So we would like to engage all of the researchers from different organizations to participate in this study. And also there is another initiative leading by Presidents of Defense Industry. So their aim is to increase Turkey's potential in quantum technologies. The main objectives are to publish a technology roadmap and coordinate research and development with technology roadmaps, raising awareness in defense transformation, and also investing in future technologies. There are 3 working groups in this network group. One is quantum communication, the other one is quantum sensing, and the last one is quantum computing. TÜBİTAK Ulakbim is taking part in the quantum computing part, and we are leading this group. So you can see some of the events that we have participated and also organized in collaboration with other entities like Middle East Technical University, Quantum Turkey organization. So we are planning to organize more events in this year. So this is the quantum wheels that is published by Michal Kurek on LinkedIn page. So you can, on the left-hand side, you can see the different technologies like superconducting trapped ion, photonic, and these are the companies that are developing these technologies. So on the other side, you can see the public research and universities that are already engaged in these quantum technology systems. So on this map, you can see the supercomputers, uh, supercomputers, UHBCJ supercomputers located in different European countries, and also there has been an initiative to establish quantum computers besides these classical computers. So, what are the strategies and developments of UHBCJ quantum computing? So, one of the main objectives are to integrate quantum computing with HPC and the development of hybrid HPC and quantum computing applications and workflows, and provide diverse quantum technologies and architectures, mostly developed in Europe. Also to provide access for research and development and innovation projects. And also there are plans about establishment of European quantum excellence centers in the field of quantum applications for science and industry. So you can see the focused map of quantum computers. There are different technologies. So it is planned to finish. So most of the systems are planned to operational at the end of this year. There, as you can see from the left side, they are in different technologies. So some of them has 10 qubits and some of them has 100 qubits. So your HPC joint undertaking will publish the access policy of accessing these quantum computers. So it's all from my side. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for this comprehensive and inspiring presentation. I'm certain you have created meaningful awareness on our campus. Our second panelist, Dr. Barış Malcıoğlu, is joining us online today. Before we hear from him, allow me to share a brief introduction. Assistant Professor Dr. Barış Malcıoğlu is a distinguished faculty member at the Physics Department of Middle East Technical University, specializing in quantum computing, computational spectroscopy, and quantum materials. He teaches courses such as quantum computing for scientists and machine learning with quantum computers. He has held research positions across Europe and contributed to software development at CISA. He also supports national projects like IVMER, Nanospace, and SolarX, and plays an active role in shaping quantum policy and standards through TÜBİTAK ULAKBİM and EU level initiatives. Dr. Malcıoğlu, we look forward to your talk. The stage is yours.
So, hello, can you see my screen?
It's okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Sorry for this bar. I don't know how to make it disappear. Maybe, no, that doesn't work as well. Okay, sorry. So thank you very much for the kind introduction. My name is Barış and I am working in Middle East Technical University. Today I will talk about what we are doing with my team, our little contribution to what's going on, the exciting year of quantum, and some advice for those of you who are interested on how to jump on this train. So first of all, why this year is important? I'm old enough to remember the year 2K. Now we are talking about the year to Q, it is about the time when you expect a quantum computer to be able to crack our most secure traditional communications in 24 hours. So this is kind of something like a Russian roulette. So at the moment, it's actually an upgrade. Only 1 year ago, people were estimating this to happen in maybe 30 or 40 years. Now the expectation is much sooner. So even today, there is a 15% chance on the most optimistic side that a quantum computer exists and it is being hidden. So this is from the Quantum Threat Timeline report, and the Quantum Safe Security Working Group, CSA, started this countdown to year 2K to increase awareness to the situation, and people are kind of doing really amazing things in order to prepare for this Q day. So what are the things people are doing? Of course, I mean, I'm not on the encryption side of things. I'm not very much interested in this, but what is really interesting to me is that, of course, it is, if you know the story of Colossus, they were able to hide the first digital computer for 30 years. No one was aware of it. Of course, this is not possible in today's research environment where everything is being shared and whatever. So the people are looking for signals. I mean, if this computer exists and if this people are hiding it, how can we trace among all these vast amount of data what to look for in order to see if this computer exists or not? So European Union and United States are searching for signals in the literature and also in the internet to look for the existence of these computers. This is also very good news for me because this is kind of a lot of intelligent people are coming together and thinking how to make quantum computers realistic. So it is carrying a quantum computer from hyper-realism, like this thing that can do amazing stuff, but that doesn't exist, to something realistic, something boring. So if it becomes something boring, then I can use it for my own research. That will make me extremely excited when the quantum computers are boring everyday objects. One of the interesting studies that is open is the Federal Office for Information Security of Germany, which announced, which kind of investigated what kind of technological developments can make a quantum computer threat to information security, which also means that it makes a quantum computer actually very useful in scientific workloads. So they identify some threats. The one that I am particularly interested is algorithmic innovations. What kind of algorithmic innovations can make today's noisy computers quite interesting scientifically? So the areas of interest are the time instead of memory algorithms, error avoidance, which is different from error mitigation or error correction, and optimization of logical encoding. So another thing that can be interesting for those of you who are in this field is these benchmarking initiatives. So many countries, foremost United States and the European Union, are interested in what is hype and what is reality, what can be used for industries, what can make a realistic quantum computer that can do value, that can add value to government tasks or let's say trade tasks. So they are launching these benchmarking initiatives. And these are also really good indications. They are really good marks for you to pursue in order to make useful quantum computers. So the first one that I am looking for is this application of time crystals in quantum computers. So time crystal concept is quite interesting. I mean, it is a dynamical equilibrium case. So you are driving the system, and the benchmarking initiatives, interestingly, they are more focused on ground state properties. They are not that much interested in dynamical things at the moment. So we are trying to fill this gap with my student Kubilay Aytemiz and Arda Çelik. So we are Arda is working on creating this representation of time crystals in superconducting circuits, and Kubilay is working on how to benchmark how well a quantum computer, a real quantum computer, can hold a time crystal, and how this can be used. So if you can form a time crystal, this has many uses. You can, I mean, one of the more interesting uses is quantum memory. So if you can achieve a quantum memory using a quantum time crystal, it is equivalent to trading time for space. So you can retrieve memory periodically from the system. You can also do it for quantum simulation, quantum sensing, and state operation stability. So this is the paper that we are using in order to calculate the correlation functions, time correlation functions, and benchmarking various types of quantum computers on how well they can maintain the time non-locality of prepared time crystal states. Another project that we are working on is with Can Korhan, the online training of generative quantum models for chemistry. So the generative quantum models are a new approach. It is unlike the variational approach. You just form the quantum circuits as a language, and you say that, okay, if this is a language, what kind of circuit elements come in which order? And this large language models like GPT are answering this question. So this is already published and well known. So what we are doing here is that, you know, the one that is already published is about offline training, in the sense that you have these penny lane data sets and you train offline your system with these data sets. As you know, if you are dealing with a realistic quantum computer, or if you want to make this thing really truly useful, you need fine-tuning or online training. And the online training, we are using what is called shadow Hamiltonian simulation. So the shadow Hamiltonian simulation is just propagating in time the observables in a special manner explained in this in this paper. And what this allows us to do is that if you are choosing your observables inspired from the theoretical spectroscopy, you can use some rules in order to avoid errors in quantum computation. And if you make your GPT model obey these sum rules in your training, you can just have some data that doesn't require that much mitigation or correction. It can be used as it is. So what we are trying to see if this can be done, this trick can be carried on to quantum computers from classical computers. So why this is important? The thing is that if you are looking for the landscape of time series analysis in GPT models, it's a very huge industry. And if you can train these foundational models for particular quantum computers, they become truly useful. And many, let's say, even if it is freely available, the fine tuning of it is a very nice field to work in, let's say. And finally, what I am doing with my third master student, Özgür Nazlı, is generative AI for error mitigation. So if you are using quantum computers, there are these two fields, there are two approaches to deal with errors in the currently available quantum computers. One of them is error correction. So this is mostly implemented on the hardware side. And the second one is the error mitigation. This is a post-processing. So you do your calculation and then you analyze your data to get rid of the error. These three are the most common error mitigation approaches. One of them is called the zero noise extrapolation. The second one is the probabilistic error cancellation. And the third one is the Clifford data regression. These are the most popular ones that I know of. But as you can see, there is no single solution that fits all. You have to tailor it to your own calculation, and you have to have some a priori knowledge about how your error will behave on your particular circuit. So this works, but you have to be very careful in using it. Otherwise, when you're trying to mitigate errors, you end up with something that is nonsensical. What is kind of a new approach for error mitigation is virtual distillation. So what you do is that you create M copies of your state and you do a virtual distillation in the sense that you are not really distilling the state, but since the eigenstates that are generated by errors are much less than the pure state of the system, when you combine all these M copies of the state using some entangling gates, the error becomes suppressed. What we are doing is that instead of identically copying these M state preparation circuits, we are using generative AI in the same manner that is used in generative quantum eigensolver to create the target states using different sentences. So we are ending up with M noisy copies that are prepared with different circuits, which is hopefully suppressing the error channels even more. So these are all the things that I want to talk. This is my group, and this is I want to thank Truba and IBM for providing the resources. I am a part of Nanospace. Maybe we can talk about this later. So second quantum revolution and what to find in space and bring it here today to use. And also I have used some resources from the European HPC Vega in the past, so I want to thank them as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this insightful presentation, Barış Hocam. And finally, I'm pleased to invite Professor Dr. Özgür Müstecaplıoğlu, one of the most distinguished quantum scientists in our country, to deliver his presentation.
Which cannot start his own talk. Yes, sorry. Yeah, also thank you for all these reports. So, but in a short, what we have seen is that it is not the question of if or when to use these quantum computers. They exist, and we have access to be collecting very efforts to them. And also we should learn, like Barış Hoca is doing. There are efficient methods to use them. So whatever your research is, it is just now just another computer, which is allowing you to use higher computational power. Yeah. So from these two talks, if you want a take-home message, the message is quantum computers are here and they are waiting for you to use them. So that is the message. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a wrap up and playing the role of a naughty kid here and make a provocative question. Are we taking any lessons from the history and developing these technologies responsibly? Because I'm not happy personally from the situations of the AI. I mean, we jumped to the best technical solution because of many winters of AI. This is very nice. But actually, from energetic point of view, this was the worst choice of building AI. So are we doing the same here with quantum technologies or not? It is a question for us and food for thought. Okay, so let me tell you a story that once upon a time, there was a machine. It is built just to kill other guys more effectively, okay? So this machine, interestingly, after the war efforts, shared with the humanity in a press conference on a very specific day chosen on purpose on the Valentine's Day, just to make sure that people love this machine, even though it was a war machine, okay? So this is the day where humans actually started to fall in love and cannot live without their cell phones or laptops, yes? So let me show you the hype of this announcement created among the mankind. Okay.
In 1946, moviegoers got their first glimpse of an astonishing new machine.
Are people becoming obsolete? A giant electronic brain is starting cogitating at the University of Pennsylvania. It's made of vacuum tubes like your radio, and it can add up a column of figures a yard long in a second. It's the world's first electronic computer. Right now, it's solving mathematical problems for the U.S. Army, but who knows? Someday a machine like this may check up on your income tax.
Are you using phones for your income tax? I use my cell phone all the time, but yeah. So this is what happened back then. So actually, we are reliving the history. This is not the new story, this computational power hype at some time. So this is the more recent version of ENIAC. It is called IBM Q after 8 years. And you can see this is a more clean laboratory, more clean presentation. And even though it's not built to calculate artillery tables or how to send missiles more effectively, it interestingly is more capable than the ENIAC. So it could do the same. It could calculate even if you help, it can help you to build a better bomb or something. But this is how instead IBM Q has been announced to the public. And you can also see some change in the situation of the economical situation on the universe or in the global world. So the first announcement was made by a government press office. It was very responsible, calm, just showing facts and so on. But the current economic system requires firms to be more aggressively do marketing. So there was some little bit of hype, of course, in this presentation, but you can also see the change in the questions that we are asking those machines. The questions are becoming more global, more peaceful, and more connecting universal questions. So from the war machine, you can see there's a transition to make these machines help us to solve climate change, drug design, making more materials for energy efficient applications. But one question we cannot ask or nobody asking is, are these machines are actually, while they are solving problems, will they create another global problem that they will require even more energy than we have today, even more than AI? Because if you look at this picture, this looks like a nice chandelier, but actually it is just a refrigerator. And like at your home, you know, your refrigerator, you have to pay a lot of electrical bill, yeah? So refrigerator attracts a lot of energy. And also all these little wires, They are microwaves controlling hundreds of qubits to do some operations, and each microwave also attracts a lot of energy. So the current designs of quantum computers are even more energy consumption demanding from the existing AI structures. So there is room for progress also, not only to develop these devices, but to develop them responsibly. Okay? But I think there is hope that at least mankind starting to ask the right questions. And during the panel discussions, I am sure I'm going to have some nice questions from you as well. So let's start.
Thank you very much for this powerful talk that connect the past and future of computing in such a meaningful way. We are truly appreciate all of our panelists for their valuable and inspiring presentation. We'll now move on to into our discussion session where we will address two key questions. Before we begin, each of our panelists will have up to 2 minutes to respond to each questions. Our first question is, how can academia, industry, and government collaborate in the development of quantum technologies? Let's start with.
Thank you. So it's okay. Thank you. As a country, we have really good talent in academia and also industry. So there should be a mechanism to establish a collaboration between academia and industry. Actually, some of researchers are really doing really good developments in cooling systems, and also we have really good researchers who are developing qubits and also single photons detectors. So there should be a mechanism to to establish a collaboration between academia and industry. It is, I mean, there's a really lack of communication channels between them. So to establish that kind of collaboration, maybe there should be more events to engage with each other. So also this area is a really emerging technology, but we don't have any graduate program about quantum technologies. It's maybe we have really good researchers who are giving lectures in leading universities like Koç University, Sabancı University, or Middle East Technical University. But there should be a common effort for teaching, I think.
Thank you. So I agree with most of them. In general, I think this question, there is no such question for the rest of the world, because quantum technologies and quantum research has been actually led by companies like IBM or other companies, and academia and industry has a very nice tradition of being in touch. I think in our country, industry, in some sense, I can understand them, are more reluctant to take risks. And this is a high risk, high gain thing. So this is always, we are lacking and lagging behind relative to the rest of the world. But this should change. And for that, I think universities like us, which has close relations with companies, are playing a major role to change this culture. So I am hopeful that if we do some more events, invite people from academia and industry and let them interact together, we can set an example and change this culture.
Thank you. Barış Bey, would you like to?
So my point is that I think when you look at, for example, the moonshot projects, like, I don't know, really, literally the moonshot project, the Velcro band, the thing that you use everyday life, it is actually an invention that was necessitated by going to space, or these drills, like, for example, power tools. They were all technologies that were pushed by the space exploration initiative by the government. So I think we need a way to communicate this to the industries in Turkey. I mean, even if you are not going to achieve a really good quantum computer, just trying to make a quantum computer will give you a lot of valuable things. Even this Velcro band, when you look at the tax money after so many years, paid for the space program many times over, just the Velcro band. And also you have many other patents and technologies that benefited many industries. This is already happening in Europe. Europe already has a lot of experience in collaborating with academia. For example, when I was working in FAO, there was this professor that was working with MV centers for making quantum computers. Then Bosch collaborated with him. Now they are using this MV centers for detectors that can detect water pipes on the balls. They have just announced this year that they made this sensor small enough and they are selling it commercially. And this is a very big thing for construction industry. So they were working on quantum computers. Suddenly they have this sensor that is based on the same technology that can bring billions of euros to this company. So I think this has to be communicated to the policymakers and also industries that you can have these sightings. And also, I think one of the very important things is that you have to be able to communicate these kind of value chains to non-technical people. So they don't want to hear about technical terms. So you have to find, like, for example, this competence framework of EU, some fancy, colorful charts so that a policymaker can immediately see and say that, okay, we will make money or we will gain value from this technology. I think these are the two things that is required.
Thank you. My second question is, how can students and faculty best prepare themselves to benefit from breakthroughs in quantum technologies?
Okay, so I will take the
Yes, please.
answer. So basically, I think in our university, this is already happening, that we have quantum physics lectures in undergraduate. Mm-hmm. But in many engineering departments and also even in some physics departments, this has been like a very late course. But in the world, they are discussing nowadays, should K-12 should be changed to Q-12, and should we teach quantum physics even starting from middle school? So there are some discussions how high school can be integrated to quantum education. The point is, quantum physics, even though mathematically can be abstract, at the foundational level, it is very weird. And if you learn it late, it becomes very strange. But it is like a language. So if you learn it at an earlier age, you can have a better adaptation to the quantum physics. So how to do this? It's a subject of debate, and I think it should be also in the some discussion or some agenda of our national education programs. But at the university level, I think we are doing good. So in our lectures, I am encouraging students to use quantum computers and even give some homeworks. And our students are very interdisciplinary, are taking courses and trying to learn from them. But also this education is not only for physicists or even engineers. I think it has some impact on social sciences, even in law, because after development of quantum physics and technologies, there will be an increase because, as Barış Hoca told, there will be an increase in the number of patents and how to have standards to evaluate these patents, new ideas, and they're all subject of law. Mm-hmm. I even read a policy paper from the law enforcement, how to use quantum technologies for a crowd control. So everybody is actually interested in this, and it should be taken as a global education effort.
And there's still hope to catch the train, I think, right?
Yeah. I mean, our country is like in classical mechanics. There is a law of inertia. Mm-hmm. If you have a big mass, it is difficult to set you in motion, but once you start, you can go effectively.
Yes.
So I join all the things that Professor Özgür said. So it is really important to create awareness in this area. So all the students in the universities are really have really good talent. So as a National HPC Center, we organize different kind of events in emerging technologies. So maybe we should establish more engagement with the researchers to organize different kind of events in quantum technologies. So maybe it is also possible to give support them give competing support them during their lectures. Maybe they can manage, they can develop their codes using our HPC system, and also there are really good opportunities from EuroHPC joint undertaking. So it is important to create awareness in this area by organizing different events.
Yes, like this panel, I think. Barış Bey, would you like to?
Yeah, thank you very much for these very nice comments. I totally agree. We, especially on the engineering side, we have a really strange understanding of what quantum technology is. They, for example, they label relativity in matter as quantum theory sometimes, which I find quite sarcastic actually. So I really think this education of what quantum is has to be on the middle school level. And what I suggest is that there is this European competence framework for quantum technologies, the CFQT, which also includes, they are also starting some certification programs. I think in science departments, we don't care about these kind of certification that much, at least in my university, but this is becoming very, very important. I don't know. I mean, everyone wants to have something quantum in bureaucracy. For example, they want to have quantum radars, they want to have quantum GPS. Of course, if you have enough money, you can nowadays buy these things, but how do you find people to operate them? So you need some certification on people who can understand these things and also can deal with breakthroughs in this system. So I think as soon as possible, science departments on every university has to begin implementing these certification schemes and framework schemes.
I can add that recently we have discussed we are going to start some track programs, and I think our College of Science also is encouraging some track programs, and I think quantum physics and technologies will be one of the track programs.
Oh, great. Thank you. Now we'd like to open the floor to live questions. If you are joining us remotely, please submit your questions via Zoom chat. Is there any question?
Thank you for those wonderful presentations. So I have two small questions. One is that I'm already using computer for drug discovery to predict protein structures, for analyze big data, biological data. How that quantum technology is going to change the way that I discover the drug, or do all those big data analysis and so on? My second question is that what are the major challenges in quantum technologies to use as a standard and method to use as a computing power?
Yeah, I'm looking for the reference now. So there are these, let's say, when I was participating into this European machinery for quantum computing, so they are distinguishing things that like cloud providers for quantum computers and software providers. And some of these software providers are for drug discovery. I'm not into the field, but they convince me that they have some quantum advantage on some applications. So if you can maybe email me, I can send you the references. I'm looking for the reference here, but it will take me some time. Maybe you can email me and I can tell you the thing. main advantage, as far as I understand, is that in testing drugs, there are some statistics they have to do, and they can do it rather fast with quantum computers. And in drug discovery, there is this AI-backed mechanisms that do the drug discovery. Okay, I can send you the references later on.
Any other question?
Actually, my question is about the national security perspective of quantum computers. We are seeing lots of news about these kind of, is there any threat or how governments will gonna act according these kind of threats? Do you see any, do you have any comments about these? Because we all see that there are different areas for technological improvements in every stage, every years. With quantum computers, do you believe there will be any encryption system problems or anything like that? I mean, how can we do a research about these kind of topics? Do you have any comment about these areas?
So the security is the main challenge for the government and also the defense industry. So we should hear more from policymakers about their thoughts. So actually, the Shor algorithm Shor algorithm will able to crack the encoding, will encode all the encryption. So it will take maybe more than 1 year, or it will take more than 2 months. We don't know about that because we don't have any actual quantum computers in our country. So as a National HPC Center, we have some efforts to engage quantum computing in our infrastructure, but we should have some improvements from the government. So our hands are tied, and we are waiting responses from the policymakers. So we really don't know about their insights about the security problems. So maybe.
Yeah, I think this is a very old attempt here. There was some National Cryptology Institute, and they opened a Quantum Cryptology Institute as well. And they were just discussing two methods. You can either protect yourself by hardware, or by making not factorization, but maybe more difficult mathematical problems to solve. This is called post-quantum crypto algorithms, and also the hardware developments. In the hardware sense, you have to improve your random number generator, and then this became even commercial and very successful quantum device. So we have quantum random number generators, which are very difficult to crack, and they can produce very uniform randomness. So this has been done, and we have such devices in this TÜBİTAK Quantum Cryptology Institute. As long as there is no quantum computer, they are still useful. And there is also some post-quantum cryptography algorithms, but you have to use them through a widespread usage. So if only you are using them, but your partners, if you want to use it in your bank, every other bank that you are internationally connected, they have to also use it. So there should be some standardization. NIST of US recently announced 4 post-quantum cryptography algorithms that they should be used everywhere by the next 10 years. So these are the possible things our country is also following and trying to adapt. And regarding to drug discovery, I can also make a short comment that currently what you can do is just to use this LuckBeam's access to hybrid centers. If you are using supercomputer, it's just another enhanced quantum enhanced processor that you can use. Just you should learn how to use them. Then it gives you some edge relative to your searches. If you are using a database of molecules that are known that they are useful to produce a drug, if you use this enhanced chips, then you can make more successful searches. So this is the current way. There is if a quantum computer can be developed, then you can also use a bottom-up approach and look for a drug even microscopically, but this requires a lot of qubits. So you need like millions of qubits. So this is somewhat a long-run promise of the quantum drug search.
I think we have a question from chat. Yes, we can take this one.
Hello?
No?
Okay. My question is, can quantum simulators achieve what is promised by the actual quantum computers? If can't, why?
Well, quantum simulator is not an actual quantum computer. So it is like a test bed. You can use it to prove some quantum advantage. Everything is ideal, but their qubit scaling is like a test bed. It tells you that what happens if you have that many logical qubits and without error correction, everything works ideally. So this gives you a motivation to build such a real quantum computer, yes? Otherwise, if there is no advantage, if you develop an algorithm, but if some other guy develops a classical algorithm that makes it better, then they can always beat you. This happened in this business a lot, that Google said, okay, I now have even 53 qubit, I can show there is a quantum advantage, but then in China, they wrote a better classical algorithm and beat it. So one advantage here is that if you can show a quantum computer can do better than a classical computer, then classical computer scientists take it as a challenge and improve their comfort zone. Because currently you are using a computational algorithm, which is not optimized actually, but it works better than the others. But if there's a quantum simulator can show that it can beat you, then you can write a better algorithm. But what we want is eventually, we want to have a quantum machine that no classical algorithm can beat it.
Thanks for this insightful thoughts about the quantum mechanics and the computation. And I want to share what I have thought about the collaboration of the government and the industry. The funds are for me. The funds is not the only way to the collaboration between the government and the institutions to create a ecosystem for this quantum mechanics and technology to develop. I think the most basic thing is to create an ecosystem which is investable for the others, and to be realistic, I don't think that our industries don't have such enough fundings to fund those type of the projects from the scratch or from non-investable place to an investable place. And investing on the research center to have a know-how basis to build a quantum mechanics experience from them. I think that not only the funding the existing project, but to create an opportunity to building the future apprehension projects. Maybe, what are your thoughts? Am I wrong, or am I insufficient in any place which I have expressed?
So there should be some project calls about emerging fields, like in 2018, TÜBİTAK, the Technological Research Center, opened a call like emerging technologies, like nanotechnology and also quantum technologies. And these calls should be published again, and also all the researchers have some quota to lead the projects and also taking part as researcher in the projects. So maybe these quotas not count in that way. So that there should be some more opportunities for them. Also, the Presidency of Defense collecting the ideas from the researchers, and they will list the topics, prioritizing them. So they will give some funding to some special projects, but we don't know how can they divide this funding, how can do that management. So maybe you can.
Yeah, let me tell you this. So if you want to make a device, there are usually 4 or 5 parameters that you should consider, like cost, of course, but there is also size, weight, and precision, for instance, if it is, or efficiency, right? So you don't have to be spending billions of dollars like IBM to build a quantum computer, but I can give you an example. There's an Italian company. They built mobile gravimeters so that you can go to Palermo. Yes, we have a friend here, and just check if there's a volcano will erupt soon or not. You can follow its gravitational fluctuations. And why you couldn't do this with a classical gravimeter? Because classical gravimeter is very heavy. You cannot carry it around. So even or if you just go to a doctor just to make a brain scan, then you enter in this very uncomfortable machines, right? But if you use these NV diamonds or some small quantum magnetometers, you can just wear a hat and just drink your coffee, walk around, and then your scanning will be even more precise. So there are operational advantages in quantum technologies, which are very cheap, and you just need to be aware of them as a company, and then make a task force to follow this maybe. And then it is your responsibility to compete with these other companies, yes. But you should create some awareness and just be realized that not everything is very expensive.
Barış Bey, would you like to?
Yeah, I totally agree. On the algorithmic side, there are so many low-lying fruits, and when you are talking about algorithms, the cost to research is very, very low. For example, if you are a software company, and if you do these, like I told, generative models, foundational models for various quantum computers, you can just sell it as a error mitigation scheme for IBM. These are already examples of doing that, and I think this will be a very low head cost business idea. So I think awareness is more important than the capital at this stage in quantum computing.
Thank you. Is there any other question? Yes.
So perhaps this is only going to be relevant for the far future when quantum computers become widespread. But so my research involves a lot of mathematical modeling with binary variables. So when I program something, I can let my intuition guide me into what's classical binary bits are going to do. But I don't have the impression that this is going to be the case for quantum computers. I mean, building them is a change, but after they become available, it feels like programming them is going to be another change. I mean, because I hardly ever find myself thinking about what individual bits are going to do in my implementations, but it feels to me as a layman, like in the case of quantum computing, I will have to think about those things. So how are people going to interface with quantum computers? Do you think this is going to limit the outreach and accessibility of quantum computing in any way? Is my question. Thank you.
Well, since I have the microphone, I can give a quick answer. So if you know Python, then you can use quantum computer. There is we briefly mentioned, I think their name was somewhat passed a little bit time ago, that there is a Quantum Turkey initiative. It's part of the Quantum World Initiative. They have from bronze to gold to platinum to different levels of quantum programmer training sessions. Or you can even watch online sessions, but it's better just to join them and then take some courses with them. After that, they arrange hackathons, so give some problem to solve. And the interface is very easy. So nowadays, this is actually why we are here, that we are talking and making these panels. The quantum technology is becoming real and accessible to normal people. It will not be very different than using your laptop or PC. And it's a very small changes in the current existing Python. It's just a different library that you will edit.
And I would like to add something if possible. The complexity classes for traditional computers are, let's say, more or less well established, but the complexity classes for quantum computers are rather new. So people are exploring. At the moment, they don't seem to overlap in the sense that the problems that you can solve with traditional computers are different than the problems that you can solve with quantum computers. So in the near future, if this complexity classes continue like this, it is possible that you will see quantum computers as something like a GPU. You will have HPCs, traditional computers, combined with quantum processor units, working together to address problems that are beyond the reach of each individual computer. A very good white paper on how to make these two realms work together is the white paper of LRZ, where you are interfacing a quantum computer with HPC to address different problems. So maybe you can check that reference out.
Thank you. No question at all? Yes.
So my question is more about terminology. So when we talk about quantum this, quantum that, and so on, from what I can tell, this current kind of hype is about quantum computers, which is just a very specific technology that uses quantum mechanics, but I mean, it's just very specific, isn't it? Is there anything about general quantum mechanics that we should be hyped about, or is it just about quantum computers?
The basic knowledge of quantum science is must to understand these all these coding or all these representing shapes. In classical computers, everything is represented by 0 or 1. And in quantum computers, the states are represented by qubits. So you should convert your codes into wave functions. So it is the basic of quantum mechanics.
When Newton invented mechanics, he didn't call it classical mechanics. Why? Because there was no other challenge, right? So only after discovery of quantum mechanics, we distinguish it by calling classical mechanics. So the current computers that we are using, they are still using the energy quantization as a transistor. They are quantum computers as well. But putting quantum in every little word becomes annoying. So we didn't call the current mobile phone as my quantum mobile phone. It's just a mobile phone because there was no other object. But now we have a new technology and we want to distinguish them. So when I say classical computer, this is actually a quantum computer. Classical in the sense of classical music. It becomes a standard, something that we got used to. It's not like a classical mechanical object. It's a quantum object. We didn't call it as a quantum computer back then because there was nothing else. But now we are using new principles of quantum physics like entanglement, quantum non-locality, and that things. You don't have to know. You just need to use interface to use this. It is becoming a new standard. So once these old stuff becomes obsolete, we are no longer going to call them as a quantum computer, and we can get a fresh breath and economy of the words and terminology, and we can call them computers again till a third quantum revolution comes.
I would like to tell something as well. A mathematician friend of mine made me the stroke I still love. So you cannot call it quantum computing unless it is coming from the quantum region of France. Otherwise, it is just linear algebra. So the thing is that when you are doing quantum computing, what is interesting for me as a scientist, when I'm trying to use these machines for my tasks, is non-localities, non-locality in space and non-locality in time. So these are something that is really, really very bad scaling in traditional computers. So there are some limitations in computation. For example, consider if you convert all the planet into a computer, what will be the size of the problem that you can solve? So this is addressed by the famous talk. So in nature, 100 electrons is nothing that much special. But if you want to do it using your traditional matrix algebra, linear algebra methods, you would need to convert all the planet into a computer in order to be able to tackle that question. But if you can use quantum resources to do quantum computation, then it becomes a simple problem again. So that is what is interesting for me for quantum computing. I will be able to simulate natural systems without converting all the solar system or the galaxy into a computer. I can do it simulating nature via quantum, let's say, systems.
So then can I say that this is more about doing computing using quantum entanglement? And this is the real kind of longer version of what we're talking about today.
Postulates of quantum mechanics is better because entanglement is not only, it's a very important resource, but it is not the only resource.
But I mean, like I just think quantum is just supposed to be everywhere, isn't it? I mean, it's like anything that's small is quantum.
No, not always.
What is quantum then? Can you tell us what do you mean by quantum?
Yeah. I mean, every theory in physics says it is a regime of validity, right? So the most difficult thing to understand in classical mechanics is the particle itself, because Newton defined particle as an object without any internal structure, without any size and dimension. And how to test such a theory? You have to create a particle. So we were only be able to do this, and this has been received several Nobel Prizes, when we were able to trap a single atom, isolate a single photon with a single photon source, and isolate some certain objects which are just quanta. Quanta is a term introduced by Planck in 1900, just to explain how much energy present in a radiation cavity. And he just borrowed the term from Latin quantus to define a piece. So it is the fundamental building block of a big puzzle. So each piece is a single piece particle of a puzzle. But then you have to trap a particle to test it according to Newtonian physics. Once you do this, you lose the deterministic structure of the Newtonian predictions, and you see that experiment gives you stochastic results and some probabilities. And to explain it, you have to develop a new theory like Schrödinger or Heisenberg did in the 1925. And then you got this new quantum physics. And this also makes now weird predictions. So once you generalize your theory to new dimensions, new realms, then you make what are new predictions. And this becomes non-locality. And this is where even today people discuss which interpretation of this theory is the best. So quantum technologies are based upon mostly non-locality resources, which allows us this non-exponential superlinear scaling with the resources that we are using, whether it is in metrology or in communication or in computation. So this is a new resource that we want to harness. Every industrial revolution is based upon through the development of mankind to be ability to harness different resources. It was water long time ago, then it became steam. It became
so just to clarify, I mean, I want to be excited. I know quantum mechanics. I just want to know what's new. And like, this is kind of not usually answered so much in the discussions. That's where these developments that you're talking about are like 100 years old. So what's now is kind of, it's hard to get an answer. Like I've been trying to get excited about quantum computers. I calm my watch.
As a physicist, there is no excitement. This is found in 1920s. So the physicist can use this as a tool. So whenever I have a new tool to look at the stars and see them in a better, clear view, if I look at macroscopical picture, so electromagnetic field new since the Maxwell time, yes? But once we learned how to trap a single atom, I can test my theories and refine them. According to Thomas Kuhn, who developed this paradigm idea, now we are in the paradigm articulation stage. We have a big theory, a paradigm, you are right, it is boring. Everything is known. No, it's boring, it is not exact. We know everything, yes? So we only get excited in physics if something is new. So from physical point of view, now we are in theory articulation stage. You can think this excitement is coming from there, because I can now test non-locality, interpretation of different physics, different parallel universe, whatever. So everything can be tested better, understood better with more computational resources, because it promises development in metrology. I can see things better. It promises computational power enhancement. So with these new tools, I can refine my theories. This is the main excitement we should hope for.
Thank you very much. We are running over time. I'm sorry. Yes, please.
Okay, so I would like to add something to this discussion as well. So, I mean, as a physicist, one of the interesting things that I make my students think is that, I mean, people get used to it and they shouldn't be used to it. According to best of our knowledge about the universe, every electron in the universe is identical to each other. You cannot distinguish one electron from each other. This is not something that we have in our everyday experience. I mean, we can always identify things from one another, but you cannot do it with electrons. So this is a very quantum thing. It's a fermionic system, and when you apply this concept, when you apply this idea of something being indistinguishable to a macroscopic thing, like financial transactions, for example, then you have an application in money laundering, which at the moment, the UN's financial crime fighting force is using quantum computers to track this common money laundering scheme, where you use many small companies to launder the money. So you can use these concepts of indistinguishability to distinguish if this is money laundering or if it is a, let's say, standard trading fluctuations. So this is what is, for example, this makes quantum computers interesting for this crime fighting scene. So maybe this was a silly example, sorry.
Thank you very much. Would you like to do a quick wrap up once again?
Yeah, thank you for all the questions. Of course, the main point of the panel was to have you here and join these discussions. So all these questions are also very useful for us. And this is not the end of the story. Hopefully, we will continue to discuss. And thank you all the supporters of this event and the organizers again. So thank you to you also being here with us.
Çok teşekkürler. Wishing you all a wonderful and inspiring Quantum Day. Thank you for joining us today. Ah.